The room was thick with tension before a single word was spoken. Cameras zoomed in, reporters leaned forward, and the crowd hushed. Everyone knew this wasn't going to be just another exchange of political jabs, it was going to be war. On one side stood California Governor Gavin Newsom, polished and confident, his smile sharpened into a weapon. On the other sat Senator John Kennedy, his calm demeanor masking the storm that was about to break. What began as a hearing on national policy was about to erupt into a clash that no one in the room or watching at home would ever forget. Newsom didn't waste time. His voice rose with conviction, rehearsed and deliberate. "Senator Kennedy," he said, leaning into the microphone, "your policies are selfish. They're inhumane. Time and time again, you've chosen division over compassion, obstruction over progress. You claim to represent the people, but all I see is a man protecting his own power at the expense of families who are suffering." The governor's words hit hard, punctuated by the gasps of those seated in the chamber. For a moment, the world seemed to tilt in Newsom's favor. He had painted Kennedy as the villain, the heartless lawmaker, and he expected the senator to fumble, to stammer, to retreat into vague talking points. But John Kennedy didn't flinch. He leaned back in his chair, his hands folded loosely in front of him, his face betraying nothing but a faint smirk. When he finally spoke, his words sliced through the air like a blade. "Governor," Kennedy began, his southern drawl deliberate, almost disarming, "you can call me selfish, you can call me inhumane. But the truth is, I don't serve the headlines. I don't serve the cameras. I serve the people back home who can't afford to have their voices drowned out by elites with fancy speeches." The crowd shifted uneasily. Newsom's expression tightened, but Kennedy pressed on, his tone growing sharper with each word. "You stand there and accuse me of cruelty, but what's truly cruel is promising hope while delivering nothing but higher taxes, broken systems, and policies that sound good on paper but crush real families in practice. You talk about compassion, well, compassion without common sense is chaos. And I refuse to let my country drown in chaos just to make you feel morally superior." The chamber exploded with murmurs, some in awe, others in disbelief. Reporters scribbled frantically, their pens struggling to keep pace. Newsom tried to interject, but Kennedy wasn't finished. He leaned forward now, his voice low, steady, and piercing. "You say I'm selfish? Maybe I am selfish for the farmer in Louisiana who's losing his land because bureaucrats in Washington think they know better. Maybe I am selfish for the single mother who's working 2 jobs just to keep her lights on while politicians pat themselves on the back for policies that never reach her doorstep. Maybe I am selfish for the young man who put on a uniform, risked his life, and came home tea.